This is the title. Ryan's horrendous first date and slash continuing stalker.
Ryan tells us, he comes home and he says, alright, I have a date coming over.
So it was Ryan, myself, my husband Ray, and my best friend Erica.
His cousin and her girls came over.
So she came over. Right off the bat, it was kind of odd because she was wearing these like really high spiked heels. Started talking about a hike that she wanted to go on, which we did end up doing without her. We all thought it was kind of weird that she was wanting to go hiking in spiky heels. Anybody who's done hiking knows you don't wear like 5-inch spike heels. The weirdo, thumb drive girl, as you'll find out is why we call her that. She was having like some serious issues with Erica. She was not happy that any of us were there because she was trying to get Ryan by himself. Hey girls, got some obsessiveness going on here a little bit. A little jealousy, a little obsessiveness. Alright.
Then we went out to the farmer's market.
And she like keeps trying to leave us in the dust.
She would try to lose us with Ryan, you know, lose us in the crowd. Towards the end of the farmer's market, she bought this giant box of strawberries. 2 flats worth. Made Ryan carry it like the entire time. She was like, the whole time, she's like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do with all these strawberries. There are so many strawberries. Meanwhile, Ryan's carrying the strawberries.
So we come home and we have dinner. Very nice. Grilled salmon. And, you know, the evening wears on a little bit and we have our dinner and then we're just sitting around the table having some drinks.
I think I had like 3 or 4. Ryan had a couple. Jen had like 1. Jen never drinks very much. This chick had, I think the entire night she had like 1.5, but...
And she talks a little bit about her job as a police dispatcher, which we're like, you know, okay, cool. She was just like, you know, oh, you know, as a police dispatcher, we see some, you know, random things and this, that, or the other. And then she was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
We were talking about this and that, and she pops out of nowhere talking about, you know, hey, something cool at work, you know, these, you know.
Okay, you know what? Do you see like a, you know, police chase? Ooh. And then she goes, oh my God, you would not believe it. On my thumb drive, I have the video from the dash cam from a highway accident in which 4 kids are in a van and 3 of them get decapitated.
3 out of 4 of them got decapitated, and after we were all like, oh, holy shit, you know.
It is so cool. And we're like, wait, what? She didn't give any context, didn't, you know, explain the situation, nothing. And she was like so excited about how freaking awesome that was. That's at the point where I was kind of done with her. You know, kids getting their heads chopped off and that being awesome. Yeah, not so much. You know, and we were like not real comfortable with that, but we're like, okay, you know, she'll be going home sometime soon, so this was just not a person we wanted to hang out with anymore. I don't know, maybe it's a chick thing that I was sensing something wasn't right with this girl, or Ryan's my good friend and I'm trying to look out for his best interest. The way this chick was just honing in on him, a little predatory, made me think like pedo bear on a 6-year-old kind of thing. You could see in his eyes he was like, don't leave me.
We just kept staying up with Ryan. Me and Jen pretty much had the unspoken agreement that we were not leaving Ryan alone with this lady because she might blow his O-ring or something.
We tried giving the subtle hints like, you know, it's getting about my bedtime, I probably ought to go to bed. She goes on and on for a long time about how she's got like this crazy alcohol tolerance. I mean, she can just chug and chug and chug for days, never get drunk, doesn't affect her, no issues at all whatsoever. Well, during the course of this time, she's had like a beer. You know, doesn't seem to be having any impairment. She made it a very clear point about how she can handle her booze. And when we got to our bedtime point, she was like, you know, well, I've had a lot to drink. I don't know if I should be driving.
She kept saying stuff like, well, you know, I drink too much more, you know. I'm gonna have to spend the night. And,
you know, I'm just so wasted. A beer and a half is got you tipsy when you were boasting forever and a day about how you could just like chug forever. And she was saying something about, you know, how she wasn't gonna be able to drive home. And she's like looking at the couch. And then she's looking at Ryan, trying to be all seductive, and then looking at the couch like, I should stay here tonight. And I'm looking at her like, no, you're not. It's time to go. You eventually got a little more forceful with like, yeah, it's time to go. You should probably go home now. Nah, you're fine to drive. You know, you haven't had much, and with your high alcohol tolerance and all, I don't think it's affected you any. She just wouldn't leave. It was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and we'd been trying to get her to leave since like 9, 10.
And finally, after a while, she finally got the hint, and Ryan walked her to the door.
She finally gets to the door, and Ryan practically slams the door on her, turns out the light like immediately.
As soon as she was out the door, Ryan shuts the light out on her before she even got to her car, so she was out in the dark outside and locked the front door.
And we're like, holy crap, she's finally gone, thank God. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning, or 7 o'clock is ungodly in the morning, especially for how late we were up. She texts him, so what do you think? She's like, what do you think of me? You know, do you want to see me again? And was just like, you know, tell me what you thought of me, and like kept texting him. And he's like trying to be nice, like, you know, you all right, but you know, I think we're just a little different. And you know, we had fun, but you know, that's that. But she just kept pressing him and pressing him and pressing him and pressing him obsessively. Like she sent him over like 300 texts in a matter of like a couple of hours. And finally he was just getting really sick and tired of it, and then, you know, being nice, being like, you know, I just don't think you're my type. We had fun hanging out, but I think maybe it was just a one-time thing. You know, trying to be the gentleman about it. And then finally he was like, all right, look, any person that has like kids getting decapitated on their thumb drive and thinks it's awesome, there's something wrong with that. And then she freaks out, you know, well, I have all kinds of hardships on my job, and you can't blame me for, you know, getting accustomed to the gore and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, he responded like, you know, well, yeah, it's part of your job, but liking it is a whole different story. You know, there's, you know, limitations. Being accustomed to something and being desensitized is one thing. Being like, it's fucking awesome. And she was like, well, you know, I've never had anybody judge me because of my job before. Oh my God. And he was like, Jennifer, help me. What do I say to this crazy man? I was like, just be mean. Just tell her to don't call me again. And just text after text after text after text. He finally put his phone on silent or shut it off, or I don't know. I didn't hear it after a while, but she was still texting him. So then a while later, and she made a new profile and friended him on the dating site and was like, hi, you know, I think you're hot. I think we should go out sometime. And he's like, you know, you look, you know, kind of familiar-ish. Do I know you? Because he was thinking maybe it was her. And, but you couldn't tell because it wouldn't show her name, just her username, which was something completely different. Picture didn't show her face. And like all of the interaction was like anonymous-ish. And come to find out that it like really was her, and she was like trying to fish more information out of him. But yeah, she like continued to be lingering and stalker-ish for a little while after that. Having kids being decapitated is just fucking awesome. Kids getting decapitated is just fucking awesome. So little fucking nuts. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well.